What's going on, everybody? Welcome in PrizePicks Picks of the Day, Underdog Picks of the Day. We've got plenty here. In fact, already gave out a 6-pick play for both PrizePicks and Underdog in the Pick'em Discord. We're going to go through a lot of those plays, and then we're going to take a look at just how different PrizePicks and Underdog can be, especially in the PGA product. So we've got a bunch of baseball picks, a bunch of PGA picks, all of the PGA picks, by the way, starting the next few hours. Some even closer than that. Some will start, right around noon, maybe even a little bit before. But you'll have time to get everything in. Now, I haven't been able to check the board in the last 2-3 minutes, so it's also possible that some of the picks that we're going through have been taken down. We'll take a look at all that, and in the meantime, drop anything in the comments. Let's talk through the slate as a whole, and where I want to start is one of our favorite things that we've found of late. It's this fantastic correlation in baseball. So we're going to start here, and we're going to go to the Braves game. You can even see immediately we've got a couple of these Braves plays. Chris Sale, fantasy points, Jake Irvin, less outs near the very top of the board. So that's where we're going to start. We're just going to go to that game. And first of all, let's see what happens when we put these in here. So Sale, less than 38 fantasy points, 63.3% to hit. Jake Irvin, less than 17.5 outs. He's either at 17.5 or 16.5 on a couple sports books. So whenever you see that, like if he's 16.5 on some sports books, why is he 17.5 here on PrizePicks? I don't know that answer. We love this one at 77%. And then this thing that we found, this correlation. You wouldn't really expect it. It's, by the way, it's even more intuitive when we're not doing fantasy points for both, because here there's a chance that, ordinarily we say the inverse correlation is a little bit counterintuitive because it seems like only one of these guys can get a win, or if one guy isn't getting the win, it makes the other guy more likely to get the win. In this case, we can have Irvin get there without. So we can have Irvin fail without Sale being put in position to win, because Irvin's not the fantasy point projection as well. So this one seems really, really strong to me. And then we can, of course, add some correlation here. Since we love Jake Irvin so much, I really want to find a Braves hitter. I also, by the way, would like to find a Nationals hitter, but you can see Lane Thomas is the best one here, only at 1.77. And in fact, if we added him in, I believe he's only at like 45% on his own to hit. So don't really like that. There you go, 45.1%. The correlation, of course, becomes fantastic, and 27.2% is nice, but we can do better than that if we just go over to Ozzie Albies here. And Albies, I believe, was 52% likely to hit. 52% in a vacuum isn't great, but 52% when you end up getting 5.6 percentage points of correlation, going from 27% with Lane Thomas in there all the way up to 30.9% for this trio. This becomes pretty spectacular. So love this start. And then I'm going to pair this trio with our favorite pick of the day, Logan Allen, more than 23.5 fantasy points. You guys have already heard me talk about this a lot. The hot spots, if you will, the key numbers on these fantasy point pitcher projections, 21, 24, 27, 30, etc. So getting half a point less than that 24 key number is huge. That makes this 69.4%. If we went to 24.5, this would probably drop all the way to around 60%. So this is a really, really important number, and I love this one right here, going up in a very nice matchup, by the way, with Miami as well. So this is the 4 that I like to start with on the baseball side. Now, if you wanted to just run this as a 4-pick play, I'm not so totally opposed to that, but I do really like some PGA plays on the PrizePicks side. So let me open up PrizePicks and I'll go take a look, make sure that those are still there. There's nothing really to show you, so I'll just leave the PrizePicks board up for now. Eventually, I will show you some really cool things actually sharing the screen on PrizePicks and Underdog. So there's a very, very crucial difference between the two. But for now, let's just see what they still have over on the PGA side of things. Birdies are better. We do still have my favorite pick, Scotty Scheffler, more than 4.0 birdies. Remember a few weeks ago, even a month ago, when we were playing Demons every day, we were getting a 38x payout. I talked a lot about how I absolutely hated the idea of picks that could tie, because if Scheffler tied, if Scheffler got 4 birdies, and we ended up 5 of 5 plus the tie, it would take a 38x payout all the way down to 10x as if we didn't have a demon. Now that we're just using a regular 25x, if it goes down to 10, it's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. It's better than having it miss and going all the way down to 2x. So I think Scotty should be at 4.5. Scotty is 4.5 or was 4.5 on Underdog. That was even taken down. So that was taken down on Underdog. This 4.0 number is pretty spectacular for Scotty. And then I also really like Wyndham Clark less, 14.5 pars or better. So to make at least 4 bogeys or worse. Clark hasn't been playing very good golf. He isn't a very strong course fit. And on top of that, he's third on tour in birdie or better rate, but 76th in bogey avoidance. Avoiding bogeys is not his skill set. This is a golf course that creates a ton of bogeys. The field averaged 3.9 yesterday, and he's going to make more bogeys on average than this field. So 14.5 is a bad number. This should either be 14.0 or maybe even 13.5. So really like the less 14.5 pars or better for Wyndham Clark. So that's our 6-pick play on PrizePicks. Now, let's go over to Underdog. And in fact, I'm just going to go to Underdog itself here. And we're going to go strictly PGA plays on the Underdog side. And the reason for that will become fairly obvious. So let me do this. Let me get rid of all of these on the right side. Interesting. Underdog just kind of leaves everything in that slip. So let's go to the PGA. And the easiest thing to do is you can just search birdies. So as you can see here, everybody comes up. We've got 4.0 for Schauffele. Don't totally love that. We've got 3.0 for Cam Young, guy who he's very similar to Wyndham Clark in the sense that he's going to make a ton of birdies, but then he's also going to make more bogeys than you'd expect. So he's available at 3.5 bogeys, by the way. I was a little bit torn between the two. I ended up needing another birdies guy, and I had plenty of bogey picks. So I'm going with Cam Young, 3.0, higher than 3.0 birdies or better. And then we get 2 really, really solid golfers, Victor Hovland and Ludwig Åberg, 3.5 birdies or better. We're going to take the higher on all 3. Now, 3-pick plays on Underdog have a standard payout of 6x. Because these are correlated, this goes all the way down to 4.67x. But before you think that, okay, we don't want to combine these, instead what we can do is combine them with another grouping that Underdog is going to view as inverse correlation. So what we're going to do now, remember, this golf course has a ton of birdies and a ton of bogeys. So yesterday, the field averaged 3.2 birdies. So you get 3 guys, all who make more birdies than most. Cam Young, and the field average is 3.2. We need 4 from him. And then only needing 4 from Åberg and Hovland, 2 of the better players in this field, is really spectacular. So I like that. And then the field averaged 3.9 bogeys or worse yesterday. So we're going to go to the bogey side, and we get 3.5 for Shane Lowry. We're going to go higher. We're going to go 3.5 once again for Wyndham Clark. Same play as we used on PrizePicks. There aren't a ton of overlapping picks here, but we've got that one. And then the last one was Zalatoris. More higher, once again, 3.5 bogeys or worse. Now, why do I really like this one? Because Zalatoris' ball striking yesterday was atrocious. It's been really bad, and historically, he's very weak around the green. So I think it's going to be a big challenge for him to not make at least 4 bogeys. So I really like this one. And now check this out. The standard 6x payout is 25x. But because we've added this, what Underdog perceives as inverse correlation, this is now 30.3x. So I love this. And this is where I want to now go to PrizePicks. So real quick, let's just recap this one. We've got Cam Young, Ludwig Åberg, and Victor Hovland higher on their birdie picks. That's 3.0 and then 3.5 for the last 2. And then Lowry, Wyndham Clark, and Will Zalatoris all higher than 3.5 bogeys. So 6 picks, all PGA, 3 bogeys picks, 3 birdies picks. Now, remember this payout, 30.3x, and by the way, 3.15x for 5 correct is pretty solid as well. Let's go over to PrizePicks now. This is pretty crazy. This is, if you aren't on Underdog yet, you are going to sign up after this, I promise you. If we went to the birdies or better, and we took more on 3 guys, and then we went to pars or better, and we took less on 3 guys, That's the exact same style of play as what we just did on Underdog for a 30x payout. And here we are getting a 13x payout, from 30x to 13, the difference between Underdog and PrizePicks. So if you're asking yourself, why would I ever play PGA on PrizePicks? The answer is you shouldn't. You should be playing it on Underdog unless you're just taking one-offs that keep the payout the exact same, the way we did with those 4 MLB picks over on PrizePicks. Remember, if you tried to do that exact same PrizePicks play on Underdog, they would penalize you for the correlation. In fact, we could maybe even go check out exactly what that would be, but I think it would be somewhere between like 20 and 22x, something like that. They would really penalize. In fact, I think it would actually be less. I think they really, really penalize that pitcher and batter correlation, and then they also will penalize the pitcher and pitcher correlation a little bit as well. So we wouldn't be able to get anywhere near as good of a number on Underdog as we have on PrizePicks, but that pales in comparison to this 30x versus 13x, which means if you haven't done so yet, you need to sign up on Underdog, claim your special pick up to $250 for a first-time deposit. Code FTN, very easy to remember, just code FTN, 250 free bucks. You can turn those 250 free bucks into $1,000 playing these PGA picks, I promise you. So get yourself on Underdog, use our code, and tune in every day because we're going to be talking more and more Underdog now that we have these 6-pick plays. If you didn't catch the show on Wednesday, I recommend going back and watching that. Zach and I did it together. We talked through the payouts of the 6-pick plays, of the 7-pick plays, and of the 8-pick plays. We found that the 6-pick play on Underdog is now the absolute best thing that you can do in the industry. So we've got a 6-pick play on PrizePicks. We've got a 6-pick play on Underdog, PGA, MLB, all good stuff. Hopefully we have a great, fun, and winning day. Yesterday, I should say, on that Wednesday show, Zach and I were able to hit a 5 of 5. We went 5 of 6, 5 of 6, and 5 of 5. And Victor Hovland, for those of you who didn't see, we had more than 2.5 bogeys. Twice, he had to chip out from the rough and got up and down from like 100 yards to save par. On the 15th hole, he narrowly avoided going out of bounds and then made a 10-footer to save. And those don't even compare to what he did on the 12th hole when he left one in the bunker and then holed out from the bunker to save par. Otherwise, we would have had 6 of 6, 6 of 6, 5 of 5. So that would have been a huge day. It was still a good day. Yeah, Zach, I'm equally salty. And then we also got a little bit screwed on the baseball picks as well. Both Hunter Green and Javier Assad should have hit. We ended up going 4 of 6 on that play, 2 of 4 on the 4-pick play. So man, yesterday could have been like a $15,000 to $20,000 day. Instead, it was just slightly over $1,000 for myself. But maybe today will be that day. So all good things happening here. And again, the shows over the next few weeks as we dive into this Underdog are going to be even more exciting. Make sure you are on Underdog. Once again, promo code FTN. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.